All right, today we're diving into one of the biggest, thorniest challenges in the entire defense industry, the Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification, or CMMC. Look, for tens of thousands of companies, this isn't just some regulation. It's literally your license to operate. But getting it right? It's a massive puzzle, and the very first piece reveals a really startling picture.
And here it is. Get this. A whopping 75% of defense contractors believe they're compliant with CMMC. But when the actual assessors show up to put them to the test, only 4% are truly prepared. That's not a gap. That is a massive canyon between what people think is happening and what's actually happening.
So you're looking at a 71 percentage point gap. This isn't just some statistic on a slide. It represents a huge systemic failure that's putting contracts, sensitive data, and even national security at risk. So you have to ask, what is everyone getting so completely wrong?
Well, the answer isn't about buying more shiny new technology or fancier software. The real reason so many companies are failing their assessments is because, at its core, this is a process problem. It's all about how organizations actually operate, day in and day out.
This right here breaks down exactly why those processes fail. Think of compliance like a bridge. Companies have their technology on one side and their goals on the other. But the bridge itself, the process, is dangerously weak. It's built with teams that don't talk to each other, tools that aren't being used right, and procedures that, let's be honest, nobody is actually following. It's a bridge that's just designed to collapse.
And this concept of compliance theater just nails the core issue. It's the act of looking secure on paper, while the reality on the ground is totally chaotic and vulnerable. It's like you've got the script for the play, but none of the actors have learned their lines. And that is exactly what assessors see right through, every single time.
Okay, so if the problem is a broken process, the solution has to be a better one, right? And that's where this framework called Integrated Process Excellence, or IPE, comes in. This is a complete shift in thinking. It's about moving away from just checking boxes and toward building a genuine, lasting security capability.
So what is IPE, really? Think of it like this. You take the same kind of discipline you'd see on a high-tech manufacturing line and apply it to your entire business. So instead of just looking for mistakes at the very end, you're building quality and security into every single step from the beginning. It completely transforms compliance from an annoying afterthought into part of your company's DNA.
Now, the IPE framework stands on three really powerful pillars. First, you've got process architecture. This is basically your blueprint for how work gets done across the entire organization. Second, there's operational discipline, which makes sure that everybody follows those processes consistently. And third, continuous improvement, which uses real data to make those processes smarter and more effective over time.
And this is the fundamental challenge IPE is built to solve. See, it's not enough to just have cybersecurity controls. You have to be able to deploy them everywhere they need to be, keep them working day after day, and, this is the big one, prove it with hard objective evidence when the assessors come knocking on your door.
Okay, so that's the theory. But how does a framework like this actually stand up to the specific, tough demands of CMMC? Let's take a look at how this goes from a big idea to something you can actually use. First, you got to understand the landscape. CMMC has 3 levels, and the jump between them is absolutely massive. Level 1 is just basic cyber hygiene, only 15 requirements. But to protect more sensitive data at Level 2, that number explodes to 110 different controls. And by Level 3, you're dealing with 134 advanced controls designed to fight off sophisticated attacks. A simple checklist approach just completely falls apart here. So let's just start with Level 1 to see how this works. The typical challenge, it's chaos. You have tangled, confusing efforts between different departments, and it all ends in a frantic scramble for documents at the last minute. Now the IPE solution, it's an orderly machine. It creates integrated workflows and standard instructions that everybody actually understands. It turns that last-minute panic for evidence into a smooth, automated part of your daily operations. And here's the beautiful part. A process-driven approach like this is built to scale. The very same principles, that strong architecture, consistent discipline, and constant improvement that organize 15 simple requirements for Level 1 are exactly what you need to manage the complex, interconnected web of 134 advanced controls at Level 3. You're not just adding more checks, you're making the whole system stronger.
But really, this is about so much more than just passing an audit. When you adopt a framework like IPA, there's a much bigger payoff. You end up transforming a costly compliance burden into a real strategic advantage for your entire business.
I mean, think about it.
By building this capability, you get a serious competitive edge over all those other companies stuck in compliance theater. You actually improve efficiency across the board, not just in security. You reduce your real-world risk of a breach, you increase trust with your customers, and you build a rock-solid foundation that lets your company grow securely.
In the end, this quote really says it all. This is a journey. It's about moving your entire organization from just putting on a show to achieving true operational excellence, from being vulnerable to becoming genuinely resilient against all the threats out there today.
So, we'll just leave you with this one question to think about for your own organization. When it comes to cybersecurity, is it just a checklist you have to get through, or is it a core capability that actually protects your business and fuels its growth? Because honestly, the answer to that question is going to define your future.